In the world of cloud infrastructure, it's always this balancing act, right? On one hand, you need raw, unadulterated performance. On the other, you need rock-solid, unbreakable resilience. Well, today, we're going to talk about a huge announcement from Azure that finally smashes those two things together. Let's dive in.
So let's just start with a really important question, one that every cloud architect and IT leader has probably lost some sleep over. When you think about your most critical, performance-hungry applications, the ones that are the lifeblood of your business, are they actually truly protected if disaster strikes? Because let's be real, in today's always-on world, every single second of an outage carries a price tag. And that reality has totally changed the game. Downtime isn't just some inconvenience anymore, it's a direct hit to the bottom line. So for any serious enterprise, business continuity has moved from being a nice-to-have goal to a fundamental, non-negotiable requirement. And that brings us to the first part of our story.
Okay, let's talk about the shield. For years, that shield in the Azure world has been Azure Site Recovery. It's basically the guardian of business continuity.
Now, if you need a quick recap, Azure Site Recovery, or ASR as everyone calls it, is the go-to service for disaster recovery. Its whole reason for being is to replicate your virtual machines so you can keep your business humming along with minimal impact when an outage hits. We're talking failover across Azure regions or even from your own data center right into the cloud.
And people trust this thing for a good reason. It's got cost-effective replication, automated failovers you can actually test without breaking anything, and it's all built right into Azure with all the security and compliance you'd expect. It really is the definitive shield. But here's where the plot thickens. This brings us to what I call the high-performance dilemma. This is where things have always gotten a little tricky, especially when your apps are screaming for more power.
And the engine in our story? Well, look no further than something like Premium SSD v2. This is not your average storage disk. It's engineered for crazy low latency, and here's the kicker. It lets you scale your performance, things like I/O ops and throughput, totally separately from how much storage space you have.
So what's the big deal with that? Well, it's purpose-built for those monster enterprise workloads, your massive SQL databases, your critical Oracle instances, your SAP systems. It gives you that top-tier, consistent speed, but also helps you manage costs, since you only pay for the exact performance you need. No more over-provisioning just in case. And this, right here, this has been the fundamental problem, the big roadblock. Until now, on one side, you've got the incredible power of the engine, Premium SSD v2. On the other, you've got this need for seamless, robust disaster recovery. And for the longest time, the two just didn't mix.
But, and this is the entire reason we're talking today, that all changes. We've got a brand new alliance between the shield and the engine.
It's really that simple, but wow, is it powerful. They now work together. Azure Site Recovery officially supports virtual machines running on Premium SSD v2 disks. The gap, the trade-off you used to have to make, it's finally gone. This is huge.
So what does this actually look like in the real world? Well, think about it. Your SQL Server now gets that low latency performance it craves, and it gets full disaster recovery. Your Oracle databases that are just hungry for high IOPS, now they're completely protected. And that SAP environment that absolutely depends on consistent speed, it's finally backed by a complete DR strategy. It's a win-win-win.
Okay, so let's zoom out a little. What does this integration really mean for you and for your cloud strategy? What are the big takeaways here?
It really boils down to three game-changing advantages. First, uncompromised protection. You no longer have to pick one, top-tier performance or top-tier resilience. You get both. Second, optimized costs. You're getting the best of both worlds without wasting money on performance or capacity you don't actually need. And third, and this is a big one, a unified strategy. You can now use one simple, elegant solution, ASR, to protect all of your Azure VMs. No more juggling different tools for different workloads.
There was a line from the announcement that just perfectly sums all of this up. It's all about helping your organization stay resilient and slash downtime for those applications that absolutely cannot fail. The shield and the engine finally working together as one powerful unit.
So, as we wrap this up, I'll leave you with a question to take back to your team. With this new capability, you can now protect your most powerful workloads without any compromises. The old barriers are gone. So, is your resilience strategy ready for that future?